Hello. So, upgrading human technology. Now, we are very obsessed with technology, with computers and electronics and automation of manufacturing and such. This kind of boomed, I would imagine, around the 18th, maybe 17th century after the Renaissance, when we kind of upgraded, say, our chemistry, to a degree our physics, and other forms of science. We got into electrical um, science around that period, maybe the 18th century or something. I think 17th century there were early experiments. I'm not quite sure. And eventually there was, factories, there's steam engines, and then electrical engines, and we've just really advanced and advanced. We went to computers, and now we're kind of getting into a very interesting period where it's 3D printing and all this kind of stuff. But the problem is that we are forgetting about humans. And I don't mean just in a simple, well, I guess you could say a DNA level or a biology level. But again, it's breaking it down too much, I think, for that. Is that back in the day, people were interested in improving themselves, not just their phones or their pieces of technology or whatever. And I think we need to continue this and to start upgrading ourselves, start improving ourselves. How do you do that? Well, it's very simple actually. If you have problems in your life, if you have problems in your body, you fix them. Sounds simple, sure, isn't it? A little bit harder than that, I'm afraid. But the concept is simple, of course. Let's say you have a problem with relationships or speaking to people or something like that. Chances are your parents had that problem as well, and magically they managed to get together though somehow. Funny how things work. But the thing is that your children will have that problem. So this kind of turns into a genetic problem, so to speak. I don't want to get too much into the science because I don't really know it, but the thing I'll say on genetics and DNA and all that crap is that people think that everything is locked in stone, and this is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, these people, I don't think they've actually lived. I think they just go through life imagining everything. Because if you look at your hand changes over the course of 10 years, 20 years, even a year. Things can change. Just say if you go from being a skinny person to a muscular person, or a fat person to a skinny person, or a skinny person to a fat person, etc. You retain that more or less. Your body retains it, where you keep that, you stay like that. And I imagine that's what your DNA has changed. It kind of holds that shape, or it holds that, and then your children will become like that. So again, as I was using the example of socialization, if you're bad at socialization or networking, building friendships and all that stuff, then your children probably will be, and your parents probably will. So improving human technology is you fixing that. And of course, there will probably be some electronic thing, kind of like that drug phenibut, which people liked, which apparently took away like social anxieties and such, kind of like an alcohol, but without the wooziness apparently. There will be some kind of electronic thing where it stimulates the social centers. But here's the thing: do you need some kind of brain dildo that vibrates the right places to stimulate social interactions and social confidence, or how about just learning it? How about just training, talking to people, practicing that? Of course, it's difficult. It's more, it's not very nice. And of course, you can make a million fucking arguments to say, oh well, there's people who just can't, blah 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 blah, whatever. Well, those people be those people. Do whatever you want. But I'm saying that it's this for one example where you can improve your circumstances. If you physically are weak, and maybe your parents are weak, or you don't want your children to be weak, they get stronger, and then your children will be stronger. And this is upgrading human technology. Instead of saying, well, I'll just be a robot, I'll just get robot arms. Well, no, hit the gym. So this is a very simple way to see it. It's not really more intricate, but a deeper way is through energy cultivation. I find through energy cultivation you kind of get to the root or map out how you want to improve yourself, because you're literally changing where your flow of energy circulates, and wherever that circulates is kind of the ghost of what improves. Of course, if you circulate energy in your arms, you just kind of naturally feel a bit stronger in your arms, and you'll be more warmed up there. Why I say ghost, because you still have to do some arm training, or else it won't really stick. It'll only be when you have that energy there in your arms that it'll be better. So this is kind of a technique, or a basic, it's like a thing that we should be given in an instruction booklet that says how to be a human, and such would be energy cultivation, energy work, which of course I have some videos on my channel if you're interested. Or you can probably look at like Qigong and that kind of stuff, and you might find other videos elsewhere. So I think we need to start amassing and learning how to upgrade ourselves. Exercise is one way. More or less it relies on you just doing it. As I said, with social interactions, you just have to talk to people. You just have to do what you want to do and figure out how you want to do it. And of course it's a lot harder than that, but ultimately it is think what you want to do and then find some way to do it. Try to just push through and like be like an arrow, and then figure out all the other stuff around you. If the arrow pushing through is the more positive, then figure out the negative stuff around you, which is more like the buffering of the electromagnetic field, so to speak. So getting back to human technology, I imagine people in the future will just become mechanical, robots, essentially, some kind of ceramic metal hybrid silicon kind of thing. And I don't really want to be that. I'd rather just cultivate the human body. Of course, the human body is a bit of a pain in the ass in this world, in this kind of timeline. Seemingly everything's slow as all hell, so it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. But we still have to make an effort, and I found that over years things get quicker, things get easier. I learn more and more. I learn how to learn, essentially. I think that's what we've forgotten. We've almost forgotten our wisdom. A lot of stuff comes down to wisdom. When you look at cultures like China and India, why are these countries advancing so quickly? It's because they have so much wisdom. The cultures are ancient. They may not have had technology, but those cultures have had very advanced, understandings of almost anything, science, culture, art, etc., etc. That's why they're able to, because they're just an advanced culture. Their human technology is more advanced than some other countries, for example, that just aren't advancing as quick as them. Or I guess you could say it different. Some cultures they advance in different ways, of course. But I think I want my own children to have the best base for life, have the best genetic base where they're able to do things easily and properly, and they don't have to struggle as much as I did. They'll struggle in their own way, of course. Every human's struggle a bit, but they can build from the base I've given them, instead of like maybe this idea of everything degrading, people getting weaker, people getting stupider. Let's stop that, because ultimately, a robot will replace you if you get weaker, stupider, less creative, more exhausted. Instead, start cultivating your internal energies, so you always you feel good. You start to level up, because that's what it really is. It's leveling up. It's like a game. Literally, it's like a game. You level up your strength, your muscles, your muscular system. You level up your nervous system. You level up your brain, your blood flow, all this kind of stuff. You get better and better, and it means that eventually, once there are robots, you can just like, if you need to, just say you need to fight a robot or whatever, your fists are so strong because your bone density is so good. Your energy flow is so strong that you can just like punch and break that robot, and at least basically it blows up into pieces. And you know, I don't know, maybe you can take a few bullets or something like that. Of course, hopefully we don't have to fight robots. Of course, peace between humans and robots is better. But basically, what I'm saying is that there are going to be people who go into robot bodies, and you're going to have to compete with them. Currently we have to compete with everyone because it's a global economy. But we're going to have to compete more and more. So yeah, that's life, eh? Anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and goodbye.